What?
No, this is not.
Oh, good. Cut midstream and then try to start back up.
You started. Oh, yeah, I'm ready.
What's that?
Yeah, I was just saying, you started them already. I just seen a notification right now.
Got it. Put that on that ticket over there. What is it? Did CPR with the thing on?
Happy Halloween. Good evening. I can't see nothing. I can't even read the chat in this thing. Yeah, there's. Okay, that's good enough. That's worth my costume already. That was worth it. Happy Halloween. Yeah, I don't spend money on this thing. It's the only time I can wear them, huh? So. Yes, apparently I'm a Fortnite character. That's what the only thing people know about this. So happy Halloween, everybody. Hope you guys all have a good time. Hope you guys didn't eat too much candy. Hey, everybody, how's it? All right. Oh, very cool. So tonight, first of all, I'm gonna take this thing off, but yeah, there we go. I like this. I like this look. All right. Yes. People texting me, "What the hell, Joe? What the hell are you wearing?"
There you go.
And if you can imagine, my son was a 6 foot tall Godzilla, even though he's 7, walking down the street holding his hand with the plague doctor, right? Oh, very cool. Yeah, the plague doctor is awesome. I love it. I like the stick. The stick is really solid. You can whack somebody with it and knock them out. That's my that's my choice of defense now. Okay, wait. Got to take off my dress. All right, there we go. All right, so good evening, everybody. Happy Halloween once again. I hope you guys all had a great time, a great day, and all that good stuff. Here it is. And I have a story for you guys. Of course, it's the scary story. And yeah, I uh, I was reviewing it a bunch today too, reading the old articles and stuff. Hey Keith, how's it? How's it? Brenda, how's it? Hey everybody, aloha. There we go. Okay, get a little comfortable here. Um, I was reviewing. Let's see. Yeah, some of the old messages and stuff. Going. So let's go ahead and start and begin, and then I'll go ahead and read some of the. I'll read you guys straight off of the messenger chat. I'm not telling you guys the names. This I was given permission to share this story as long as I keep the name away. Sandy, how's it? As long as I keep the names, yeah, anonymous, and that's perfectly fine. This individual doesn't have this bothering them anymore, so I hope. And so I wish to keep her to remain anonymous. This story occurred back in 2014. Have I met Jesus? I've met Jesus. I know him very well. Thank you, Sean. That's a great thing. Thank you for reminding me first. Actually, before I go into the story, first thing is let's go ahead and pray. And secondly, we're going to go ahead and do protocol, right? So in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, deliver us from evil. Amen. Aloha to the kupuna, to the spirits over here in Uanu Valley. I find myself here once again in your home, with your permission, I hope, seeking your permission to share stories again. If you guys would like to gather around to enjoy the story, please do. If the story, however, starts to attract the kind of spirits that I'm going to be talking about, and you want us to get out of here and bring them with us, let us know, and we will. Yeah. We don't want to desecrate this area any further than it already has been. With your permission, I'd like to continue. Mahalo. How's it? Oh, brah. What is this? This is YouTube. You get a lot of cool, interesting, random comments. Right on. Just me tonight? Nope, we get me and brother Matt over here. So, yeah, Matt's right over here. So, to continue the tradition of telling ghost stories every night for the month of October, I saved the last night, of course, the scariest story for the last night, the one that messed me up, the one that really took a toll on me, the one that taught me a lot. This was my trial by fire, and I'm gonna go ahead and share as much as I can with you guys that I can remember. Um, yeah, Jana, good to see you. Happy Halloween. That will be another time, Daniel. Stories from Ka'u on the Big Island. I'd love to hear some. I'd love to go to Ka'u as well and experience some too, you know. But yeah, tonight is different. We stay on theme here. Thank you guys for all you guys that have been tuning in every night this month. If you guys want to go and look at any of the other videos on YouTube, it's saved. On TikTok, it's saved. You can find them. There's a different subject every night, pretty much. I've been to the Big Island. There's Pele, stories for Pele at the volcano. There's stories up on Mauna Kea. There's Night Marcher stories. There's demigod stories. There's a whole bunch of different subjects, one for every night of the month of October. Yeah. I'm gonna look forward to sleeping very well tomorrow and sitting at home at 8 o'clock at night, relaxing and watching TV. Because it's been a month since I've been able to do that. But yeah, I want to thank you guys that have been tuning in and supporting. Mahalo nui loa. This has been a fantastic month. It's been super fun, and I know and really scary too. We've experienced a really thing. Really, we've experienced a lot of activity here. Some good, some bad. Yeah, that kind of stuff. But thank you guys for coming along for the ride. And let me go ahead and share the last story. Oh, remember too, we do them every Friday nights. Yeah, so it's not the last. You have to wait till Friday, next week Friday, to hear the next live. Phoebe, this is not an exorcist story. This is similar, but I am not an exorcist. And this spirit was not exorcised, but yeah. This started back in 2014. This was ending of July, perhaps. Yeah, it was the ending of July 2014. Let me know you hear noises too, bro, because I think I'm hearing noises.
Yeah, no, I wasn't sure if there was a car that started
Yeah,
back,
yeah, I
back
thought
there.
that might have been a car.
Yeah. But yeah, I never see lights, so I was kind of waiting
Yeah.
and looking back. Oh, wait, bro, I'll let you know.
Yeah. Um, and so we were at Yokohama Beach, all the way down by Kaena Point, right? All the way down past Makua. And I had met a friend of mine, Alicia, to go over there. We went there, me and my family went over to the beach. And we spent the day at the beach. We had fun, took a lot of pictures of my kids at sunset. And the part, I had a camera that I actually took pictures of. Remember those days? An actual camera? Yeah. What made it so much fun for me was I left my phone in the car the whole day. And so as the sun had set and we're getting ready to go back home, hey, mahalo for the heart me. And we are getting ready to go back home. I get into the car. I turn my phone on. Well, actually, my phone was already on, but I see missed calls, missed messages from several different people, and I'm like, what's going on? And it's a bunch of people freaking out. There was this one guy. You know what? Let me look up his messages right here. I remember his name. I just remembered his name just now. I won't say it though, but this was, if I can pull him up, he's a sensitive medium in Hawaiian hauntings. Ah, he deleted his account. Wow, fascinating. I think this is it right here. No, this is a different one. Dang it. He deleted his account, so so the chat is completely gone as well, I think. Unless that's him over there. Oh, man. So he's a bit of a medium and a really cool guy too, but let's see, 2000, yep, this is the one right there. Let's see, the chat happened like, ugh. I'm not showing you that picture. Aloha, I need your help, please. That was at 2:12, July 29th, 2014. I messaged him back 7 hours later and says, "Oh, so late. Thank you, mahalo." I said, "I went to the beach all day. What's up?" He's like, "Oh, I wish I went too. This girl is in big trouble." That wasn't something falling. That was something moving.
So the moving, you think?
Didn't hit the ground.
Mm. I heard it back there.
Yeah.
I heard it when we first came too.
That was loud.
When we first walked in.
Mickey will get with you and explain everything. Thank you. That's my purpose. I said, thank you for the heads up. That's my purpose in this group. He sends me a picture. I'll show you guys this picture. This was a picture that had caused a lot of things in the group. This picture, hey, I don't even know if you can look at it. There we go. There we go. There's a little white mist coming out. This is an individual that's going to be taking part in the story. We'll call her Nancy tonight. See the little white mist coming off of her body as she's sleeping? And then that also leaves a question, who actually took the picture, right? That picture came up in the group, Hawaiian Hauntings, and another picture of her being double exposed, which was kind of weird. He said, the post you made earlier about cleansing a house is regarding this person. He said, yes. Who is she? Is she Hawaiian? I think she needs to go. She needs to get out of the group. He didn't like it. And because he said, did you talk to Mickey? I said, yes. This thing attacked Mickey's husband. She opened the door, Joe. Only she can close it. I sense that there's a lot of things wrong. I also sense she's practiced the dark arts. Mickey has picked up on this too. I said she does need to go to church and she needs to get baptized. And that's what I'm talking to her about now. Be very careful, brother. I will surround you with the protection of Kiakua, you and your ohana. TikTok just went off.
That just went off? Really?
Ah, look.
What happened?
Live access removed. This live violates our community guidelines.
Because it cost him, maybe? No, no way. Yeah.
Sexual activities and services. Hold on, hold on. Oh, geez, it's a picture of her lying down.
Oh, that's what it is. Is the picture is? Oh, so your thumbnail got reported or
Nah,
something?
not even the thumb. The picture I had just shared.
Oh, oh goodness. Oh, okay. That's creepy.
All right. So what can I do? No kidding. All right. Well, this is going to be a very tricky subject if that's going to get the kind. Let me do live again.
Oh,
That
you
was-
kind of should have.
Live
Pictures, maybe?
access is suspended. I can't go live for another week.
Oh, like that.
Yeah. I'm going to put my YouTube link. So weird. What the heck?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, if that's going to be the beginning of it, then yeah. Yeah, that's what it was. For a week, yeah, on TikTok. So I'm just going to post text. Please join us on YouTube. At Hawaiian Hauntings, right? Aloha, how's it? Well, that's funny. That's the first time that's happened all month, and it's got to be the last night too, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
TikTok ended because that picture I showed says because it was a woman who was sleeping. It said it was a sexual nature. Hold on, hold on. Hold on, hold on. YouTube only. I got kicked for a week. So strange. Hold on, hold on. Sorry. Call my copy link. I wish I could share the link. Okay, we're back. There's nothing about it. It's a person sleeping. Anyway, whatever. Maybe it's for the best. That's okay because this live is not really for children. We'll put it that way. I did appeal it. It's going to take a week to appeal it. Yeah, I know. People's profiles show more. Yeah, we'll see. TikTok is crazy. No, 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 don't worry. Now I get to actually just look at one phone tonight instead of going back and forth. So, yeah. You know what? Maybe we'll try something. You know what I'm thinking of?
Rainbow.
Yeah. Bingo.
Might as well. Come on, hey, man. Now you got the extra phone, right? If that's
Yep,
the case.
yep. Exactly. How do I do this? That's great. Sorry, sorry, sorry. I'm like, I don't like open my wallet. What does the matter with you? Okay, okay, that's fine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what these buttons do. I'm good. Thank you. There's a new platform, Rainbow, I'm gonna try. Um, there you go. Start live. Never worked last time, but we'll see if it works this time. Where's Uy? I think Uy's at home. I don't know if there's anybody here on this rainbow thing. First time I'm on this. Hi. There you go. Looks like. So, right on. Okay. I know people show more than that on TikTok. That's so weird. Backup account. Oh, that would be interesting, yeah. I don't have a backup account. Actually, I do, but no one's gonna find that backup account. I don't know. I'm 44 years old. I don't know how to do this stuff. Um, where am I at? I am at Old Poly Road in Uanu Valley. Sorry, that kind of threw me off, threw me for a loop. So, long story short, I was enjoying the conversation with that gentleman. No, I am not. I'm telling ghost stories. Yeah, let's go ahead and continue with the story. So sorry. Basically, this guy messages me saying that there's somebody in the group that needs help, and whatever is on her is really, really bad. And he can't do anything to help her, although that's kind of what he does. He helps people. And if she's going to stay in the group, he has to leave because there's something that's really, really bad. Yeah. Um, I'm just gonna get off this. This is way too distracting. I don't even know how to do this. Bruh, I'm
goes
just
off
like,
the charts over there.
huh?
Goes off the charts over there on that screen.
I don't know what's going on. I don't even. I remember
functions.
I had trouble going live before on it. It wouldn't let me go live. It would say I'm live, but there wouldn't be a counter or anything.
Oh yeah, I
or,
remember we had to go access it in your phone. We had to allow it access, I guess, for that live part.
yeah,
Or the camera or something like that, I think it was. So that's how come we couldn't go live.
yeah. Thank you, Jimmy. Okay. Actually, I can pull up the messages on this. My mom and I have a phone now. So this guy ends up leaving the group. He helps a lot of people, but he cannot help this girl, and this girl has something on him that really, really unnerves him. Like, he pretty much just stops talking to me. And so other people message me and tell me this girl needs help. She sends up these pictures, which I'm going to be careful about pictures. There's that picture of her lying down with this white mist coming out of her. There's another picture of her in the picture, and then there's a transparent image of her right behind her, and that kind of adds to the little bit of the theme of what goes on over here. I contact her. I know her. I've known her. I've been out with her a few times. We've been ghost hunting and stuff like that. We about a year prior to this, we went to the Waipahu Plantation Village, or the Hawaii Plantation Village, and we did investigatings, we did stories, all that good stuff. And so I met her. She's really cool, you know. Of course, I won't be saying her name. Mahalo, thank you. And so we started talking, and she explains to me that she's looking for help because she is she's having trouble with an attachment. She tells me there's something that's been following her around since she was around. She thinks it was about 5 years old. It's been in the family. She said when she was 18, her younger sister had it jump onto her, and so she took it off of the younger sister and invited it onto her to keep the younger sister safe. And she's my age. She was at 30s in that time, and it had been following her ever since. And she says only now her health is declining. Um, her health is declining. Her heart is not good, and people are saying there are weird things that are going on around her. And like her boyfriend is saying there's weird stuff going on. Her best friends are saying there's weird stuff going on. And so she like, okay, like what kind of stuff? She's like, well, here's an example. And okay, so when we're talking on the phone now, we're Skyping, right? I'm actually at work and I work overnight, so I got all the time in the world. And I'm sitting down there Skyping because she prefers to Skype and to talk in person. I got my headphones on, and I'm like, okay, so what is this? What's going on? She shows me pictures. She has me look at a recording like of one of her friends sent back a voicemail that she had left, right, in an audio file. And he's like, hey girl, I think something's wrong with you. Are you okay? Listen to this. And played the message, and she's talking whatever. She's local tita, you know what I mean? So she's talking. But as she's talking in her regular voice, you hear this other voice behind her going like like that. And they're like, what is that voice in the background? And she's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And so she plays the recording, and I can hear the recording. She's like, Joe, that's not me. That's nobody there. There wasn't anything like that in the recording. And we talk a little bit more. I want to see what she did and what happened, maybe what triggered this kind of attachment, where she was, just the regular questions that I would ask. When did it start? How bad has it manifested? Is it causing you physical harm? Is it a spirit that's mad, basically, the one that wants to harm you, right? And so this one wants to harm her in a way. Um, so we continue. We're talking. She lives in Kaimuki by herself. And as she's lying down on the bed talking story on the Skype, all of a sudden we hear a voice. It's a male voice in her room, and she looks up, and she's kind of like looking around her room. She's like, what the hell is going on? And I'm like, she's like, do you hear that? I'm like, yeah, I hear a guy. She's like, yeah, I hear a guy's voice. It's coming out of my room. She shows me all around her room with her phone. There's nobody there. The door's closed. There's nobody in her room. And then she gets off of her bed and starts to follow the sound of the voice. And she's walking with her phone now, and I'm seeing where she's going. The male's voice is coming out of the top drawer of her dresser. And so I can hear her talking. She's like, it sounds like it's coming from my dresser. What the hell? She's like, this voice sounds kind of familiar. I'm like, huh, okay. She opens a drawer, and it's a voice recorder that's playing. The voice recorder in her top drawer started playing by itself. The voice recorder was playing me telling a ghost story at the plantation village a year before when we had met. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of, wow. Like, that's why the voice is familiar. We're listening to it. And she's like, Joe, this is you? Yeah. I'm like, you're right. That's the story I tell. That's me talking. She's like, that's right. I recorded you. And I'm like, huh, maybe I'm the right person to help you. I don't know. And she's like, well, that's good, because there's a lot of people who have tried to help me, and they all kind of failed. And one of them, she said there was this priest died trying to help her. He got sick and died because of her attachment. She, by the way, for the record, she's Wiccan and she's pagan. And me, I'm Roman Catholic, So at this point in my life, 11 years ago, I'm like, to each their own. You know what I mean? And so we continue talking. I'm like, this is really weird. And we're figuring out what's happened and what this thing is and all of that. And then I'm back with my headphones on, and I'm sitting down, and I hear this voice come on. Me and her are talking. There's a third voice now that talks over both of us. And it sounded like the one in her recording. Not the one of me, but the recording where she would talk and this other voice would echo her. And it was like, so what it sounded like, exactly what it sounded like was like, the whole time I'm talking to her, I have my ovilus on the side that generates random words at random times. The whole shift, I had the ovilus on. And I'm like, what did you just say? She's like, I don't know, that wasn't me. I'm like, you heard that too? She's like, yeah. I'm like, You think that's a ghost, or you think it's something else? I'm not sure how Skype works. This is 2014, all right? This is still new territory for me. And so I'm thinking, like, you talk on those cell phones before, the cordless phones, and you can catch the neighbor sometimes. So I'm like, you know what? Maybe this is interference. So we each log out, we each make a new account, and we log into the new account, and we call each other back, and go back on, and we hear the same SIS Colombia. And I'm like, well, that didn't do anything. It's still here. She's like, oh, great. She's like, do you know what it's saying? I'm like, I have no idea. And so I'm assuming now that I'm talking to a spirit, and I'm like, can you please repeat that back to me? And it does. And it repeats it back to me. And I'm like, the whole time I'm looking at her, and she's looking at me like, what the hell's going on? And I say, I don't know what you're trying to say. Can you slow it down for me? It slows it down for me. All right? This is not a common thing. This doesn't happen in the paranormal field where you would get evidence and they repeat it, and then they repeat it again upon request, and they'll repeat it slower. It's extremely rare this kind of stuff happens. And so I hear it again, and I still don't understand it. And I still don't understand it. And then the obelisk goes off and says, suffer. And I'm like, oh, lovely. That was the one word we had all night. At this point, I took my headphones out, and I put my speaker, my voice recorder, next to the speaker of my phone that I was using to talk to her, because if it happens again, I'm gonna get it on recording. And it happens again, and it happens again, and again, and again. And I have these on recording, but they're in my house. I don't take them out but once a year, and this year I couldn't find it. Otherwise, I usually play it back. Last year, if you look up the same kind of video on the same night, I think we have the recordings played, I think more towards the ending. But this voice, I had it recorded about 5, 6, 7, 8 different clips, and I saved them all to my computer, put them all on my laptop, and I knew what one of them said. One of them said, "We are the Legion." Like, she's talking, I'm talking, and then all of a sudden, a deep breath. "We are the Legion," like that. And some of the other ones is when she would be talking, the voice would be talking in her echo, kind of thing, and it sounded like it was coming from her, but it just kept. I don't know. It was this other voice, like when one of the recordings, her cat jumped on her, and she's like, "Oh, hello, little kitty, hello," like that, coming out of her voice, and I'm like, "Whoa," that wasn't her either. The other one, it said, a few days later, I actually went on Facebook and I asked for some. No, when I got off the phone with her, I started looking up the phonetics of these words, and I found out that this was actually not English. This was Latin. And some of them I found out. One was Ciervo Orbis Terrarum. That it just spit out in that same voice, those 3 words, which is the first atlas in Latin. The first atlas. Basically, what it means is, I see all. I see everything. And probably it's making me hungry in the chat.
That's totally fucking. It's making food channel right now. Fuck, everybody busting out their menu. Gets dirty. Nah. Just plain. Enjoy you guys' food.
Oh, bruh. I might have to turn off the comments. I'm getting hungry over here. I'm getting distracted.
Sorry.
Don't worry. I contact some people on Facebook that speak Latin, and they're able to listen to some of these things and tell me what it meant. And the first part that I had heard, it sounded like SIS Columnium or something like that, translates to you will always suffer. But the word suffer was meant as a poison kind of suffer, like suffering a poison that is pleasurable but will still kill you, kind of thing. Something like that. That's what I was told that it had meant. And so I take the recordings to my friend Guy. I take the recordings to my friends Mickey and a whole bunch of the people that have been helping me out on cases. And these guys are really strong people and they're really badass people. And I go with Guy and my friend Ivan, and we go to the very back of Manoa Valley, where we had went to the other day, Paradise Park, which in my experience has been some of the most powerful spirits on the island that I have encountered. They're very protective about their area, like we found out Sunday night, right? I think Saturday night. They're very protective of their area, and they don't like other spirits in the area. And so we went back there. I had my van. We get out, and I introduce myself to the spirits again, and I ask them, I'm here to seek your advice, your opinion. I want to play a recording, and I want you guys to tell me, if you guys could, what this thing is. Because the whole time that I'm listening to this thing and I'm talking to her, something feels off. Something feels like it's not true. It's lying. Like she is lying. Like I'm thinking to myself, that recording in the drawer started playing by itself. Okay, maybe she had some kind of device hooked up with strings that I couldn't see that played you know what I mean? And she's faking this and she's faking that. It sounded to me like it wasn't real. It felt to me that it wasn't real. And so I go to the back and I wanted to ask them if this is real or if this wasn't real. Do I need to worry about this? And so it's quiet, it's calm the entire time. We're there 20 minutes talking, and then finally I'm like, all right, we want to get a feel for the place. And then I push play, and this gust of wind picks up and almost blows my laptop off of my van. The second I hit play, and then I hit pause, and the wind stops. And I look at Guy and Ivan, they look at me, and this is what Guy was talking about the other night too. I hit play again. The wind came back and started blowing all of us away. I hit pause. It stopped. And I'm like, I asked, is this a sign? Is this thing an actual spirit? Do you want us to get out of here? And then a rock is thrown out of the bush. And then another rock is rolled right up to, I think it was Guy or Ivan's foot. And it just hit them in the foot. And at that point, we're like, okay, it's time to go. I got my answer over here. And the more I play with this thing, the more I invite this spirit to come back and to join us. However, as we were packing up, I had the Ovilus running again. Keep in mind, I had it running now for a while. And it randomly generates one word: suffer. And I'm like, okay. And guy's like, oh, that's a creepy word. I'm like, brah, that's the last word it told me to the other night. And he's like, really? I'm like, it just said that one word. The thing was on for 12 hours, 10 to 12 hours, and it just said the word suffer. And now that it's been on for like half an hour, 45 minutes, it says suffer again. And so I'm kind of like, all right, this is not good. My friends are telling me, you got to be careful. You got to be careful. This thing is not good. You've never dealt with this before. And so I admit this is above my pay grade. So I reach out to a friend of mine, this guy Jose. I don't really remember how I met him. He has since been off of Facebook. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but let's see. I was just reading his conversations the other today. Brah. I was just reading it today. Jose. This guy is a lot of things. He's like a high priest kind of thing, and Facebook user. Was this the one? Nope. Was this the one? Nope. Brah. Hold on. Maybe it's still on this one here. Why can I not see it? I was literally reading this the whole conversation today. It's so strange. Anyway, so we start talking, and his account has been deleted, but we still had the. Oh no, yeah, I'm not sure how he did, but I was still able to see his chat, but I don't know what the hell. This is tripping me out. I spent literally an hour reading the conversation. Anyway, so I reach out to Jose. Jose is a lot of things. He is Catholic, he's Wiccan, he's pagan, he's a lot of different things. He calls upon all the spirits and all the gods, and Michael the Archangel, Jesus, God. But then there's also the mother, or I'm not even quite sure what he does, but I know that he's good at what he does. He's been recommended to me by a bunch of friends. He lives on the mainland, so I messaged him, and I explained to him what was going on and the things that were happening and all of that stuff. And he messages back telling me, "I'm sorry, brother, but I'm on a break right now. I'm on a hiatus for the next few months because it's been really intense over here. But here's a list of other people that can help you, some of my friends." And so he sends me all the list of his friends, and I message each of his friends, and none of them respond to me, right? I tell him none of them responded to me. Actually, one of them did, but she couldn't take the case. Um, so he's like, "You know what? I can give you advice, but that's all I can do." And so I tell him what's been happening. I tell him the things that happened. I didn't send him the recordings, but he's like, "Okay, well," he messages me back. He's like, "As you're typing this to me, as I'm reading this, I can feel a presence watching me right now. I can feel something keeping its eye on me, looking at me, observing me, and it's the thing that's possessing your friend." And I'm like, "Okay." He's like, "You're gonna need help." He's like, "This thing is not good. This thing is." He's like, "This thing is gonna be your test. This thing is gonna be something that's gonna make or break you." He said. He said, "This is a Grigori." And I'm like, "Okay." And I look up the word Grigori. A Grigori is a fallen angel. He tells me, "This is a Grigori. This is a fallen angel. This is the impressions that he's giving. This is something that's really, really bad." Um, he told me, "Dude, you just gotta please be careful with this." I can't even remember what I read today, man. I can't believe I can't find the conversation. I'm bummed out. But he's telling me to use all of these tactics, all of these things to do, but none of that is my strength. You know what I mean? So I really didn't do anything that he told me. I did message my friends and reach out to them. The one girl I messaged, this lady who was a demonologist, she wasn't able to help me, but we did talk about a little bit about the demonology and that kind of stuff. And that was when I told you where her eyes just looked terrified. Like, she was very strong in her faith, but her eyes have seen some shit. I'll tell you that much. So me, I'm stubborn. I'm stupid. I'm gonna continue helping this girl, even though there's things that are speaking at me in Latin that I continue and I continue, and then I'm at home and I'm no. She sends me to her friend. Actually, no, her friend messages me. Um, her friend's like, "I am really worried about so and so." She's not, she's like, "Hello, I'm her friend. She said she's talking to you to try and help her. I'm really concerned about her." And she sends me more pictures. She sends me more videos about with this same voice behind her. Here is a picture that she sent me, and that kind of, now it could be something or it could be nothing, but it gave me the heebie-jeebies when I looked at it. All right, I yeah, she's not in this picture, but I think she was the one taking the picture. Everyone's eyes are yellow. I don't know. Should I
Okay.
share the picture? It's not. It doesn't have anyone's faces.
Should be okay, I think.
Should be okay.
Yeah.
This was a long time ago.
What was the other one? Did it have words on top or something this way too?
The one
The
I
first
showed
picture? Yeah, the one that shut down
didn't
the
have any
top.
words. It
Oh.
had her.
It just
The
it was just a
screenshot
picture,
had her
but
had the
that's what
picture of
they
her profile, which is what I blocked off.
that's what they freaking
Yeah.
coughed it up to be though. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
So here. See, all their eyes are yellow. That was kind of unsettling to me. You know, it's just been a little. It was like, what the heck? Hey Ray, how's it? It's like several pictures. I've seen a lot of camera effects, but nothing like that.
I know the eyes would be red, yeah, the camera effect one.
Yeah,
When
and
it
it would
goes
be one or
red, not
two
not
that's
yellow like
that's
that.
at the right angle kind of thing.
Yeah.
So these were pictures that she sent me a bunch more where the people around her were just like that, and I'm like, whoa, something ain't right with this. Um, we continue talking, and then like I go home and I'm talking to her. I'll only talk to her outside because I don't want to bring it into my home, right? This is that kind of feeling, right? So I'm in my garage, sitting down, and we're talking. We're trying to figure out what's going on. Um, then, like, her voice changes to that raspy voice, and I look at the phone, the Skype call that we're on, and her eyes are rolled back in her head, and that voice, her mouth is open, but she's not moving her mouth. The voice is coming out and starts cussing, swearing, spitting, making all of this horrible, horrible noises as I'm looking and her eyes are rolled back like that and the mouth is open. And so I put the phone down and I pray. I say the Our Father a few times. And then by the time, then I think the third time I said amen, I pick the phone back up and I look at her and she's like, back to herself. Hey Joe, what was that all about? I'm still thinking she might be acting. This might not be real. This might be fake. Okay, I'm still thinking. So I'm not going to give her the benefit. I'm not going to go, oh my God, your eyes just rolled back in your head. Oh my God, you were having this other voice. I'm like, oh no, no big deal. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to give her the attention that she's seeking if this is the case. So I'm like, yeah, no big deal. Don't worry about it, right? Um, and so that was that. You know, she's like, okay, and then we continued on. She still wanted to know. She's still kind of confused on why I started praying, but whatever, it's fine. We talked some more, and I find out that this is when I find out she's Wiccan and pagan. And this part is a little bit controversial, so excuse me. I'm saying this according to my experiences. This may not actually be the one, but um, she told me what the name of this spirit is. And the story changed to that she welcomed the spirit in. So I heard that she took it in to get it off her sister. She also told me that she was at a graveyard one night with her friends playing death metal music, and it followed her home from the graveyard. And then she tells me that this is a spirit that she invited into her life as a goddess kind of thing to take care of her. Um, she said its name is Lilith. And that just gave me chicken skin. And from that day on, every time I hear the word Lilith, it triggers a type of PTSD in me. I looked it up. Lilith is, as I said, many things. A lot of people see it as a different thing. The one I talked to Jose about it, and Jose is like, Lilith. He's like, holy shit. even if it's not her, if it's claiming to be her, please be careful. He's like, you can't make a mistake, kind of thing. And Lilith is the serpent in the Garden of Eden. Yeah, that's what I thought. A lot of the things I read says she is evil. She's the serpent in the Garden of Eden. She's the one that tempted Eve, who then in turn tempted Adam with the apple and the forbidden knowledge, the forbidden fruit. And so she was cast out of the Garden of Eden and forced to slither on her belly, and she became the snake. It's also said that when she was kicked out of the Garden of Eden, she procreated because with many fallen angels, and that's how demons were born from Lilith, who was actually Adam's first wife, according to some of the lore. But this is how the better lore is looked at. Like people worship her because she was Adam's first wife, and she wouldn't bow down to Adam. She wouldn't listen to her husband. You know what the Bible says. We're not going to get into that, but and so God cast her out, turned her into a serpent, and then created Eve out of man's ribs so that woman would become more subservient to man because Lilith would not serve the man because they were equal. So she's the goddess of like women's rights and equality, and that's what she's seen to represent by the people in a positive light. In this aspect, however, it was said to terrify me. It was said as intimidation. It was said as not, I'm Lilith, the one who brought knowledge and wisdom. It was, I'm Lilith. I'm the one that created succubi. I'm the one that created demons. Fear me. Right? And so a few days later, I'm like, me and Matt was at the gas station getting our energy drinks. And I'm like, oh, they give a new flavor. And I'm like, huh, this is kind of weird. It's an apple and monster. That's kind of cool. And I'm like, it's kind of creepy. But I'll see if I can get a better angle of this. There you go. And we're over there. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to try it. I like monster, right? And then the guy behind us in the line said something about the forbidden apple. And I'm like, oh, shit. I know who this freaking girl is. Part of my language, you know. That's why this is not meant for kids. I'm like, this is Lilith. This is exactly Lilith. Well, we're talking, and I'm telling her that, you know, what I'm reading is that she's bad, and she's arguing with me and saying, no, she's not bad, she's good, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, but, you know, she is possessing you, and that's not a good thing. And she's like, I guess you're right. It's like, I'm still trying to help this girl, but I can't help her. She tells me we need to meet in person. And, I mean, even while I'm on the phone with her, she starts having things happen, and she's like, you need to come down to Kaimoki and meet me right now. I need your help. There's something in this room. You need to bless my house. You need to get this rid of me. She wanted me to perform an exorcism on her. That's what she wanted. She wanted me to battle with this thing, with this spirit. And I said no. I said no. I'm going to back out. I'm going to back out, and I'm going to help you fight this. You know, I'm going to support you. I'm going to be your support, but I'm not going to do the fighting myself. That's kind of what I felt that she had wanted me to do. She wanted me to just go over there and get rid of it for her, which to me felt really, really, really wrong. I'm at work still talking. We're going back and forth. We're trying to figure out what the heck this thing is, or how to get rid of this thing, what we can do, that kind of thing. I'm talking to my pastor like almost every day at my church, asking him for advice, what I should do, where I should go. He tells me, well, you can bring, you know, I can give her a blessing if you bring her to church, but it'll be like putting a hat on a naked man and saying you're clothed now. She has to go through the sacraments. She has to go through baptism, Eucharist, confirmation, all of that stuff, right, in order to be saved. And I couldn't even get her to church. So the one morning, I get off at 6 a.m. So I end the call with her about 5:30, and I log out of Skype. This was back before we could just swipe. Yeah, my phone never had the swipe thing. So exit out of the app, everything. And then when I would get onto the app, I'd have to log on to the app. Like, type in my name, type in my password to log on to Skype. And so I put my phone in my pocket, my coworker comes in, and briefing him, and then I leave as the sun is rising, and I sit in my car. As I'm sitting in my car, just thinking, just my brain is just going, and I'm trying to think of what I can do, how we can help her, this kind of stuff. Um, I hear the sound of breathing. I hear the sound of heavy breathing coming from my car as the sun is rising, and I'm like, what the hell? And I look behind me. I'm in a van. There's nobody back there. I look under my seat. I look all around. I look. My windows are up. There's nobody outside. It's a group home, right? So maybe there was some patient that was outside breathing heavy into my window. No, there wasn't anybody there. They're all sleeping. And then I grab my phone, and I realize that it's coming out of my phone that was in my pocket. I turn my phone on, and I see her. I'm in the middle of a Skype call with this chick, and her eyes are rolled back in her head, and I see her from this angle, like that, but with white eyes rolled back in her head, and just that voice coming out again. And now, to me, if the thought crosses my mind, it's almost comical. You know, she's sitting there like this with her phone. You know, with the camera, so it can face her eyes and it can face her nose, and you know what I mean. I mean, that's the only way I could get that angle. I did. It's a creepy angle, but then I look at her and I'm looking and I'm like, how would you make that angle? And I imagine she's really stupid and really silly, looking like that, trying to scare me. I'm still thinking something's not right here. That some of this is fake. And so I look at it and it's breathing, and I'm like, yeah, you know what the heck with this, and I put the phone down, face down, and I say the prayer to Michael the Archangel. And I pray to Michael the Archangel, but at the end of the prayer I say, let the truth be known. There's one of those moments that the words come through out of my mouth before they come through my head. So let the truth be known. And then I pick up the phone again. Eyes are still rolled back. Voice is still raspy. Now, she's just laughing at me in that voice. Laughing at me, taunting me. And I'm looking at her now. I'm looking at her just like I'm looking at you guys. And I hear, your Michael is nothing. Your Michael is weak. He can't help you. And I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, like, so when I get scared, I have to stop being scared and find ways to not be scared. Take charge, take control. And I'm thinking to myself, that's because I asked him to tell the truth. I did not ask him to kick your rear. Otherwise, you wouldn't be talking to me right now. That's what I'm thinking in my head, and I'm like, no, Michael's more powerful than you. You need to leave. You need to get out of her right now. You need to leave. You're harming her. No, I said I'm gonna pray in the name of God if you don't leave her right now, and I'm gonna tell God to kick your butt out. And she's like, there is no God, there is no good, there is no evil. I'm like, you're pretty evil to me. She's like, there is no evil, there's only power. And I'm thinking, what kind of BS movie generics plot line am I reading or am I witnessing over here? There's no good, there's no bad, there is only power. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure you're bad. And she's like, that same voice, we talk for like the whole time I'm driving home. Okay, I put it in the drive and I'm going and I'm talking to this thing that's hissing at me, and it comes out. I don't even remember much of what we talked about. She's like, no, there's only me, there's only power, there's no God, there's no Jesus, there is no Michael the Archangel. And I'm like, yeah, and you're a demon and demons lie, so ha ha ha, funny. She's like, you think I'm lying? She's like, you need to stop helping her. You need to stop helping her. I'm like, you need to stop possessing her. Like, you need to leave her alone. That's my daughter. Leave her alone. You're killing her. I'm like, no, you're the one that's possessing her. You're the reason she has a heart condition. You need to stop harming her. She's like, no, I'm not. That's my daughter. I would never harm her. I'm like, then why are you possessing her? And we had this conversation, went back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until I got home. Um, I found out from this conversation that the truth in the lies was that if I were to help her, I would have harmed her. I spoke to a friend of mine who was a former pagan and is now born again. She, we talked about it. We talked about what was going on and all of that stuff. And she said, yeah, it sounds to me like she did some kind of blood rites, blood rituals, and now that spirit is intertwined with hers. If you perform an exorcism and pull the spirit out of her, she will come out with it. And so now the two were meshed together so thoroughly that I could not help her anymore. I'm trying to get her to go to church. I'm trying to get her to become Christian. She was raised Catholic, and that's why she hated Catholics so much, is because, I don't know, PTSD or whatever. I'm not too sure why, but she was just adamant about it. And, like, she wouldn't go, she wouldn't do it. And I'm like, she's like, but you still need to help me, Joe. And I'm like, you're asking me to help you, but not use any of my strengths, not use any of my knowledge, not use anything that I'm good at. You know, you want me to become a Wiccan so I can help you? No. This is how I work. God is my shield and my sword. And if you're not going to let me protect you with that, then I cannot protect you. How's it going, guys? I haven't heard the thumping yet. Have you heard any thumping down there? Yeah. That, I don't know, bro. This, maybe it's a story. That wind just gave me chicken skin. It didn't seem natural at all, bro. I've heard the wind here lots and lots of times,
Yeah.
but that one's felt different. What's your thoughts on that one, bro?
I definitely picked up.
Yeah.
You know?
Was it different to you too, or?
Well, I'm hearing the whip here and there, so.
Okay, okay,
I mean,
okay.
I've been kind of watching. I mean, I think if it gets kind of funky, I'll definitely let you know. So no more things come crashing down anymore.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah.
was cool.
Yeah,
It's fucking
no.
loud too.
Yep.
We asking, was that the Manoa wind? Well, we don't know. We're not sure.
Maybe, yeah. We'll see. I'm feeling. I'm feeling a little antsy right now. Hold on, hold on. Bruh, where are you? Too many freaking pockets in this damn thing. Swear to God. It's in this one, no. I get pockets. I don't know where the zippers stay. I want to find my equipment and put them out and see what it picks up on. That's what I want to do right now.
Oh, looking for the tripwire.
Yep. Sorry, guys. I need to keep my zippers up on the top. Okay, thanks, Steve. I appreciate it, bro.
How far out do you want?
Just right over here. I just want to see. Yeah, I can feel energy around here tonight. I want to see what it is. My lights are right over here. I'm not setting them up. No, Sean, I did read that, and yeah. Were those red eyes or car lights? What are you talking about? On the camera? The EMF lights? No, I didn't put them on yet. I never put them on yet. Behind me may have been car lights, but I didn't see a car in the lake for a little while. Sorry. I told this story a couple years ago, and it scared me. Oh, Sweet Savage, how's it? Right on, right on. Hey, yeah. That's, bro. It just been a weird. That just threw me off completely. The whole TikTok thing threw me off too. Then things started happening again. Let me see if I can pull up the conversation with her. This is what I mentioned the other night, right? When I was telling my Bobby Mackey stories, right? Can I search? Nope, I'm not gonna do that. Actually, did I save? I think I did screenshot it. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see that. Oh yeah. So September 14th, 2014. Can I ask you something? Are you a sensitive or can you actually see spirits? She said. I responded with, I can't see them, but I can sense them sometimes. Where the heck are you? You're in Kentucky? As soon as I realized where you are, my room got really cold. I didn't like living in Kentucky when I was little. I told her I'm at Bobby Mackey's. Joe, why did my room just get real cold? Why? Joe, dot, dot, dot. I said, I don't know. She said, who is Bobby Mackey? I said, a country singer. Did you go in there? I said, for 5 hours. Don't go back, please. I said, don't worry. She says, I do. You can't tell me not to worry when I'm already worried. I said, whatever it was, I handled it. I'm gonna write about it later in the group. And she messages me again saying it's not over. Dot dot dot. And that's when our conversation ended. That was the whole conversation, word for word. That was after the Room of Faces, when I thought that we had gotten rid of that thing, right? Yeah, that's the part I wanted to read. I don't need to pull up anything more with her. No, Sean, that's a very good one. That sounded like a sucking wind, not the blowing wind. Yeah, like it's sucking something out of here. Okay, good. Oh, awesome. Yeah, awesome movie. Um, so it continues on and it continues on and it continues on. And while this case is going on, I am also planning my trip to Bobby Mackey's and planning my trip to the mainland and all of this kind of stuff. Um, Things are getting a little bit more intense. I can't really exactly remember if this happened before or after the trip. No, it happened. It happened after the trip. Yeah. No, it did. No, it didn't. Yeah, it didn't. It started. So after I came back from the trip, I had already realized that I couldn't help her anymore. Yeah. Um. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Um. Things started happening with me. That car's reversing. Things started happening with me a lot. Um. This is when I started hearing the voices. That same voice on phone conversations with my kids. I'd hear that same hissing, raspy voice that would be calling me names and stuff like that. And, just the whole like that. And it's like, it was bad. I tried to get away from it. It would invade my dreams. It would be everywhere that I went. 666 was everywhere that I went. Like I leave to drive through Kaneohe and like 4, 5, 6, 7 cars would have 666 on it. It was just ugh.
I know I can't get the lights to go all freaking purple like normal. Like they're all red at one time.
Yeah.
It's the closest I could get it to baseline.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. I don't know, they're
Huh.
picking up.
That's strange in itself. Well, we'll see. We'll see if that continues on. At least we'll see if that light continues. Hey, Brad. When you told the story before, had weird activity, noises, seeing things, etc. Okay, well, yeah. I did a prayer when we began this. Bruh, let me try.
I don't know. Like
I'm gonna show you guys the lights right now. Bruh, can I see them right now? What the heck? Not even picking up, but like 3 of them are blinking.
all the yellow ones, yeah, it's blinking.
Yeah. me try. Let's get it back to baseline, guys. All right, come on, all purple. Yeah, yeah. It is what it is. That's that's strange. No, I know it wasn't from over here. It was behind the tree. Hi, Matt. Turn back around. Um, as I said,
Boom.
666 was everywhere. Um, license plates would be 666. I showed you guys that picture too of the GPS 666. Yeah, there was that as well. Like I was on Highway 6, Route 66 in the mainland. Laughter took us the wrong direction. Um, I had dreams. I had things happening. Like okay, one of the things that had happened during this. One of the things that happened during this case was like I would play back then, 2014. I was an avid World of Warcraft player. No laugh, okay. Um, and World of Warcraft is a big game. Like plenty servers, plenty people. Like you're surrounded by lots and lots of random players, right? And so everybody does their own thing. It's no big deal. So I go into the city where everybody is there. There's like hundreds of people in the city. You know what? I have an idea. Yeah, I heard you. We're gonna do this. Ghost Tube Seer. See what picks up. And we'll say this girl's name is. I don't know. I'm gonna keep making up different names because I can't really fart it. Sorry, I got distracted here. Funny, Jacob. No, I haven't. Um, I can't concentrate on what this person's name is too much, and I can't remember the name that I give her. That's an interesting picture. We'll call her Stacy. Okay, I've called her Stacy before. So picture this: there's a character in there's a class in World of Warcraft where you get a pet, an animal, and you can name the animal. So the character's name was Stacy. The animal's name was Lilith. And not only did I come across this character on this video game, they didn't say a word to me, but they followed me everywhere. I walked around and they stopped what they were doing and they followed me. And they followed me and they followed me. I flew to a random destination. I just opened the map and I clicked, and 30 seconds later, they were there too, following me. In this huge open world game, they happened to go exactly the same place I was going and following me and following and following me. And it was just like, what the heck, you know? Then I logged off of that server and I went on to another server with an entirely new group of people, population of people, right? And I come across another hunter whose name was Lilith, and her pet's name was Stacy, and had the same behavior where they followed me and followed me and followed me around. And I'm like, this is the place I go to relax, to unwind, to calm down, to process stuff. And this place is no longer safe either. I'm at work. I work in a group home with people who came out of the state hospital, so they have a lot of things that they suffer from, right? And I get a heads up as we have a new guy coming in, and my coworker Andrew tells me, "Oh yeah, by the way, oh you're gonna love this new guy." I'm like, "Why?" "Oh, this new guy is a devil worshiper. He's been here a few times. He got kicked out for lighting candles in his room, and dancing naked on the roof, and that kind of stuff. And I'm like, are you serious? He's like, yeah, I heard he's coming in. He's gonna move over here. So while this whole case is going on, I'm like, all right, whatever. I don't care. I'm not even thinking about that. Well, he comes in one night. He's a guy who's in his, who's like older local guy, the kind of from the generation where at nighttime he wearing the big Magnum PI glasses. You could tell he did a lot of drugs, kind of thing. So he came in the evening when I started. His case manager brought him. So I did the intake and the input and all of that. And when I was done with that, he came over. I'm sitting on the chair. He comes into the office, sits on the ground, starts talking to me. Hey, so you're Joe? I'm like, yeah, nice to meet you. He's like, oh yeah, nice to meet you too. And we talk, and I'm like, oh, so what do you do for fun? He's like, you know what? I love to go to church. I love God. God is my favorite thing. I give all of my time to church. I like to play the guitar and I worship God and this and that. And I'm thinking to myself, brother, you are BSing me so bad right now. But if it is, good. I'm not one to call somebody out. If they say, I'll believe them, whatever they want to say. It's better to not have conflict in that kind of a job, right? It's like, oh, right on, cool. What church you go? And he tells me the name of a church. And I'm like, okay, right on. Um, we start talking a little bit, and then he looks at me, and I have my computer next to me, and he's like, "Oh, I see you got a computer." I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Do you think you could Google something for me real fast, Joe?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. It depends on what you want me to Google. Shouldn't be a problem. What do you want me to Google?" He looks at me and he says, "Lilith," and then he smiles. He says, "You know who that is, don't you?" And then he stands up and starts walking away. And I'm like, "No, no, 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 no. Come back over here. Who is that?" And I play completely dumb. He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Come, come, come, come. Let's talk a little bit more. I thought you wanted me to Google this. Come on." He's like, so I'm like, "So how did you hear this name?" He's like, "Honestly?" I'm like, "Yeah, how did you hear this name?" He said, "She talks to me. She told me to tell you that." I'm like, "Really? Do you know who that is?" "No. But she said it would be funny and that you know her. And she said if I do that, she promised me all of these things. She promised me that I would get this and I would get that and another random picture." So he looks at me, he's like, "So who do you think that is, Lilith?" And I'm like, uh, I heard she's not a good one. "Really? Do you think she's lying?" I'm like, "I think she's lying. I think she'll give it to you in a roundabout way, in the way that a genie will grant you a wish, in the sense of if you wish to fly, you will be able to fly, but then in reality, you're actually in a coma and you're only flying in your dreams, kind of flying, kind of thing." It's like, oh, okay, I understand. That was scary for me because I had to sit down for the rest of the night knowing that this guy who was diagnosed a sociopath, no medication, if any, hardly any, no psychiatric medication, um, could get away with literal murder like he did. Gets a slap on the wrist, goes to the state hospital for a few years, comes right back out into the community again. This guy could kill me. This guy could stab me, and he'd get a slap on the wrist and become part of the community again in 5 or 6 years. That's how our system worked. You know, here's this picture here. I don't like the thing in the corner. It's kind of creepy. Yeah. That part shook me up. Oh, man. Now that said, then I went to Bobby Mackey's. All that went down. Um, the dream started. After Bobby Mackey's, I was really messed up. You can imagine now, if he has heard the Bobby Mackey stories, this was going on before Bobby Mackey's. I would hear all the voices and all of that stuff too. There was it invaded my dreams early on, and that's kind of what gave me a big sign, right? So I would sleep during the day and I'd be awake at night for work. So I come home and I sleep, and in my dream, look at that picture. Yeah, what a handsome bugger. God, fun it, brah. That's why I wanted to turn this thing on to see what the heck's going on. So in this dream, it was one of those weird dreams where you dream that you dream. You know what I mean? Um, let me see this one. Yeah, fun. We'll go over the pictures again when this is done. It's those dreams where you dream. So in this dream, I had been awake for like 40 something hours or more than that. I had been awake for days. And so in my dream, I was exhausted. And so in my dream, I went to sleep. We were at the country house, one that I grew up in Ka'ava, that my auntie owned. We'd spend all the summers there and go fishing every night and go swimming at the beach, and all the uncles would drink beer all day, kind of thing, and Crown Royal and all that. So we were over there in my dream, and I slept and I slept and I slept, and I must have slept 18 hours in my dream. And I woke up really groggy, and I remember I woke up and I'm rubbing my eyes in my dream, man. Mind you, all of this is in my dream. I woke up, and when you wake up, you still get the maka pia pia in your eyes a little bit, and it's too bright. You're still kind of like, your eyes are getting adjusted. That's how it was. And I'm walking around. My brother-in-law's there, and I'm like in this dream, and he's in the house, and I'm like, hey, how's it going? We just start talking. I'm like, brah, did I sleep that long? Oh man, I must have slept for a long time. And he's watching his phone. He's looking at a video. Wait, another picture. This little castle. I don't know what this means. Um, he's looking at his phone and he's laughing his ass off. And he's laughing his ass off and laughing his ass off. And he's like, look at this dummy over here. Look at this dummy. And so I look at him. And, oh, okay, cheerful gardenia. Thank you. Oh, how's it? Sorry. And so I still get the maka pia pia in my eyes, and my brother-in-law is showing me his phone, and I see this jackass running around. I see this an idiot, like kind of like the movie Jackass, the show Jackass. This guy just running around and acting a complete fool, making noises, jumping around, rolling around, just doing absolutely stupid stuff, right? Absolutely doesn't make any sense, but like, and as I'm waking up more in my dream, my eyes are clearer and clearer, and I realize now that that person I'm looking at is me. That was me doing that. And he's like, look at that. I recorded you. I'm like, what do you mean you recorded me? I've been sleeping the last 18 hours. He's like, no, you weren't sleeping, bro. This was you. You was doing this the whole time. So in my dream, something else had taken over me and made me do all of that stuff. And that's kind of one of the things that had, one of my things that scared me was seeing these people, hearing their stories, talking to them. They're diagnosed with schizophrenia, and sometimes it doesn't even onset until their 30s, and they're perfectly normal. We had a lady who was a nurse, you know what I mean? She was perfectly fine, and then the next thing she remembers is now she's on medication. She's in a completely different state 3 months later, and she's divorced from her husband, and her kids won't talk to her, and she doesn't remember anything. That sounds terrifying to me. At this point, I go back to sleep in my dream. I pass out, I fall back asleep, and I'm dreaming another dream in my dream, which is weird in itself. And I was at the same house, the Kaava house, and everything was black and white, and I was by myself. The curtains were tattered, the shadows were long. As I said, everything was black and white. It looked and felt like a haunted house in this dream. And I'm just walking around, cruising around, just wondering what the heck is not cruising, just exploring, seeing what the heck is doing, what the heck is going on. And yeah, cool. Another one. Hey, happy Halloween. Zombies, maybe. And I hear these voices in my dream. I hear these voices. Hey, Melody, how's it? I hear these voices coming to me in this dream. These voices are calling my name, and they're really creepy. It sounds like ghosts whispering my name. You know, all I hear is Joe, Joe, come here, Joe. You know, and I remember all of this, and I kind of like hid from them, and then I decided, you know what, I'm gonna pray. So I pray, and as I pray, I walk outside. I say the Lord's Prayer, and as I walk outside, I walk towards the light. As I said, the shadows were long. The house cast a long shadow, right? And I could see on the grass where the shadow of the house stopped and the sunlight began. It was like the roof, right, went down, and so it was a straight line. It was just a line between the darkness and light. And so I remember saying the prayer and walking up to the light, walking up to that, and I wanted to step out into the light as I said amen. In fact, I remember specifically even staying in the shadow a little bit longer because I wasn't at that part of the prayer yet. So I walked along the shadow, and then when I said amen, I stepped out into the light, and everything turned color. Everything was no longer black and white, but there was color, there were noises, there were voices, and there were people, and there was a whole bunch of people in the house. And I went back into the house. I walked back into the house, and my family was there. All of my family was there. A whole bunch of them were there, and I'm walking in. I'm like, hey, what's going on, guys? What's happening? Why is everybody here? Kind of thing. And they all stopped and looked at me shocked. And I'm like, they're like, Joe, are you back? And I'm like, I didn't go anywhere. I'm just outside. Yeah, I'm back. What's up? And they're like, oh my God, you're actually back with us? And I'm like, yeah. Why? They're like, Joe, it's been a year. You've been in some kind of catatonic state where you're just walking around like a sleepwalker for an entire year. You don't see us, you don't hear us, you don't talk to us. Like you have a nurse for crying out loud, and this lady comes down and she's like my caretaker, and I'm like, what the hell? You know, I was completely gone for a year of my life. What's that? Oh, that's you. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm completely gone for a year of my life in this dream, and I couldn't believe it. And then I wake up, like for real, wake up, and I'm like, brah, that those dreams they feel like a million years. You know what I mean? They feel like they took a long time. Those dreams, and it's supposed to be you only remember 15 minutes of your dream or something like that, right? The last 15 minutes. I remember I called Guy up. The first thing I did when I woke up, Guy, I just had this dream. He's a dream medium, dream sensitive, that kind of stuff too. And it occurred to me, and I laughed because this spirit called Lilith, has been trying to get to me, been trying to get to me, but she can't. I'm doing something right. She couldn't get to me. Night, Raymond. Um, so she tries to get to me in my sleep, in my dreams when I'm the most vulnerable. That shows me that what I'm doing is protected. I am doing something right. That I am protected, and I need to know that I am protected, and I can't question it, right? Because I got this thing speaking in Latin and stuff around me, and it's just blowing my mind, but I'm still absolutely fine. Hello there. Yeah, 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 yeah. Perfect timing, too, huh? Yeah, you can't get me. It couldn't get me. Nothing at all. Oh, they're very cool. Yeah. I don't look at this either, but this thing just keeps hanging out over here. So I put it on my lap, and every time I look down, it's like this thing just staring at me. You can stare at Matt for a little
Let's
while.
face them down.
Yeah.
So we can look at my lap for a little while.
Yeah. There we go. No,
Make a
you're still
ding
there.
on the next picture, please.
Yeah, come on. There you go.
While I shine you in my lap.
Yeah. And so, like, it at this point, I couldn't really help this girl anymore. Um, it was just like, but I couldn't help her because I couldn't get her to go to church, and I couldn't turn her to church, and I couldn't help her my way. Um, I did try a few more times to the point where her husband even yelled at me because, like, you can't force us to go to church. You can't make us go to church. You can't preach to us. That kind of stuff too. I remember that. She had moved not too long after that over to the mainland, and we've kept in touch a little bit here, a little bit there. Actually, it occurs to me now that there's a couple people here who knows who this person is. So shh, don't say nothing. Eh? Um, she's been doing better. She's been doing fine. She told me she found the high priest to get rid of it, which is good. I don't know. There's been a lot of things that I found out. In fact, it was kind of interesting because a few years ago, I reached out to her to ask her if I could share the story, and she said, "Yes, please do. Just keep my name anonymous," which I always do. She's like, "To be honest, Joe, I don't remember much of anything that happened. I know we talked a lot. I don't remember a lot of these things that happened." So she actually enjoyed listening to it and hearing it. My opinion about this was that it wasn't her that I was talking to for most of the parts. It was her attachment that was her. It was her. It was Lilith that I was talking to, not her. Um, and that's why she doesn't have any recollection of a lot of the conversations we had because it was somebody else. Yeah. I still have a lot of these recordings and stuff that was sent to me and the voices and all of that, but I'm not really going to share them either. I don't feel like that's appropriate. We have enough activity with just me telling the story, you know? But yeah. Then Bobby Mackey's happened, then all of this happened, and the next 2 years happened. This entity, Lilith, we'll call her, has stalked me since then. And I think the lie that I had felt was not from her, my friend. It was from this entity, right? It was pretending to need help. That's what I felt. Because when I tried to help her, it was, everybody that tried to help me has died, right? And I'm like, well, I don't plan on dying. It's kind of like trying to scare me, trying to intimidate me, trying to make me question myself, question my faith, that kind of thing. And I didn't budge. And it was a good test to me. It's a good test. No matter what happened, I stayed true to my faith. And I realized that I had nothing to fear because I have God behind me. I have God on my side. Um, do you hear that? No?
Okay. What you heard?
To be honest, something like alien noises.
You didn't know it?
Yeah, like phasers and beams and stuff
Oh, shit.
coming from there.
From where?
There.
Down there?
Yeah, the black.
And everybody's saying there's I guess the leaves and everything behind you. Seeing all kind of pictures and faces and stuff.
Oh, lovely.
But they're all asking questions. Not sure though. I'm trying to figure it all out.
The leaves
I
by the
haven't
top
really
side
looked
of the
back there.
head.
From Romania. Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. Oh, well, Melody heard the odd chime.
Huh?
Melody just said she heard an odd chime.
Okay,
So
I
she
didn't hear
probably
it.
heard what you heard too, then, and I missed it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. I don't know what this is, but it's a picture. Took screenshots. Okay, I don't see the chat where you're saying that. Hey, Rico. Aloha. How's
What
it?
is
How's
that?
it? Where they're talking about the leaves behind me. I can see the one mention it in it, but I don't see anything else from it.
You gotta go up. It was kind of a while already. I
Oh,
think
okay,
one
okay,
said that it
okay.
was gonna send you pictures too.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Um, yeah, there's always stuff around here. That's why I tell stories here. You got the kupuna over here. You got the spirits over here that protect. Um, I guess to wrap up that story, she's doing much better. I haven't checked in on her in a while, but she
Hey,
seems
Faye.
to be doing much better. Faye, how's it? How's it? I only have my right headphone on. Oh, interesting. Okay. Um, yeah. But for me, the thing followed me and is still around. I found that out a couple years ago. Yeah, we do ghost stories, brother. Or sister. Sorry. See, Rico, Puerto Rico. Place name. Yeah.
From Romania.
From Romania.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
So I seen his name, Rico, Puerto Rico, from Romania. I was like, oh shoot, okay, nice to have you, brother.
my my daughter-in-law, her mom is from Romania.
Oh yeah.
And she's like, I'm like, oh, I want to. She's like, Uncle, you need to go to Romania. They have all the vampire stories and all of
I know.
this and
Yeah.
all of that. I'm
Is
like,
that where
yeah,
Transylvania is, or no?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's where it is.
She's like, yeah, they have so much stories and legends. I'm like, hell yeah, I want to go. And then I'm like, wait, that's also where Lilith is from. Maybe not. That's like succubus and stuff out there. And the first succubi, I'm like, ah, I'm
Oh,
good, dude.
oh,
I'm good.
oh. That's yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I'm like, maybe not. You know, there's that forest. And I'm like, I don't know. Come to us and visit our country.
We want to suck your blood. No, no, no. I'm good. I like my neck. No, no, no. I'll just wait. Just wait.
I know, bro. We're having fun. Yeah. It sounds like something I love to do, visit some of the castles and all of that. But yeah, let me wind up the story. We were here a few years ago, a couple years ago maybe. I shared that story, and I know I've shared this before, but it's just so fascinating to me. I hadn't felt this was 2014. This happened, okay. And just a few years ago, a couple years ago, I told that story over here. Wow, there's a bunch of us here. We had a tent popped up and everything, and yeah, that was ooh sweet thing. We'll see. Yeah. Um, as I was done with the story, I turned the camera over to a friend of mine, and from the river back over there, I was just sitting down listening. I felt that same energy. I felt that same energy, that same entity, and I had not felt that in a while. It's the one I had felt after Bobby Mackey's. That energy, the one that creeped, uh, the one that triggered my lust, my that whole part of me. You know, Lilith is said to be the first succubus and all of that stuff too, right? But it's just, hey, yeah. Speaking of succubus, there you go. Not really, but yeah, kind of a little bit appropriate. Hey, Rico, you too. I was surprised at how scared I got. I was surprised at how I shrank. Hey, Suzette, how's it? I don't I don't get scared very often, you know. But this thing, it triggered, and I can identify now. It triggered like a PTSD from fear response. That yeah, I literally shrank back, and I didn't know what to do, and I got scared, and I just didn't. Yeah, kind of like this guy in the picture over here. Maybe not quite, but yeah. And then no, this was a couple years. This was a few years ago. We had that other girl who moved to Vegas, and then we heard the trees. We heard this loud stomping noise down at the bottom of the ravine over there, and it just went boom, boom. Not drums, but like a tree was walking around. And one of the girls up here that was with us, that we had actually met over here doing the ghost stories, said that's a tree walking around. That's a guardian. That's the guardian of the area over here. And I noticed as soon as we heard that tree walking around down there, that energy that I just felt just left, just gone. It left. Um, in retrospect, I talked to Jose again about this, and it wasn't Lilith. He said, and I thought so too. You know, it's like these demons, they say, hey, I'm Satan himself, kind of thing, right? The devil is haunting you. It's like, no, the devil has better things to do. In fact, I don't remember hearing an actual legitimate case where the devil had actually haunted somebody or the devil had crawled out of the pits of hell. You know what I mean? No, he stays there. He's stuck there. Just like this thing wasn't Lilith, but he said it may have been something called a Lilim. A Lilim would be the daughters of Lilith. which it was very old, it was very powerful, and it was very old, and it knew what it was doing, right? Hiccups, how's it? Happy Halloween. Yeah. Honestly, I think I was more scared today when I was rereading some of the conversations that I had had, going over the conversations with me and her friend, me and Jose. I was reading it and I was just, yeah, it was just. Ugh. I'll tell you what, though, I won't share the recording here tonight, but if I can find it, I might share it on one of my other lives if you guys would like to hear it. It's the Latin and We Are the Legion and all of that. Just remember that demons, they like to try and scare you, right? This thing was bad. This thing was strong. This thing was evil. This thing was old. But it also didn't stand a chance against somebody who's not afraid. You know, somebody who has faith doesn't stand a chance. I get more pictures. Well, the leaves, are they faces? Or are they moving weirdly?
I think you're saying it's faces,
Oh, yeah,
maybe.
yeah, 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 yeah. I can see them. Oh, yeah. Very cool. It's like they're just peeking, huh? They're just kind of peeking out at you. Yeah. Oh, I did find something I wanted to show you guys. Let me show you on the tablet. We went to Bishop Museum not too long ago. Or maybe I found this online. I don't know. I guess I got a bonus ghost story for you guys. It's my mom's story. I'm gonna have her on one of these lives and share. She said she'd be interested in sharing some pictures. So this was at Bishop Museum, and my mom saw this on the bottom floor, and freaked the hell out. So my mom is from mainland, but she moved to Hilo when she was 18, and on the second floor in the house in Hilo that she lived at when she was younger, she got up there one day and saw at the window a bunch of faces, hairless faces, no race, no gender, just these faces peeking in at her, right? And this was a display at Bishop Museum. This is what she said she saw in the windows, looking at her. This brought back that when she was 18 years old, she's in her 70s now, but this had brought back when she was that. Yeah. This is called the ancestors. That's what the faces in the trees reminded me of. It's the audience. I'm not. I used to be kind of freaked out, like, oh, that's kind of a creepy looking face, but I call him my no disrespect, sorry, but like, that's just how they come across. Perhaps if it is something, yeah, that's how they just come across. Yeah, I read that fate. I see. We'll see. We'll see how I feel when we're done with this over here. But yeah, you know, I know you always get good food. I'll go message you after. Don't worry. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of how I see the faces in the back. They're just the ancestors, just watching. Yeah, this is not generated. This is actually a picture. But yeah, here are the pictures that were generated tonight. Somebody here looks hairy. This one here. This one here. You know what this looks like to me? This looks like the Garden of Eden, Eve and Lilith. Yeah?
Hmm.
She's more of the rebel, and she's more innocent. Wow, that's interesting. Random weird picture. And of course, we'll talk about demons and temptation and all of that. Because that's what the succubus is all about, right? Yeah. There's a lot more I usually say, but I don't think I want to say it this year. It doesn't matter. This story's enough. You got zombies. You got that castle. You got ugly over here. You got grandpa, and then surgery, and then yeah, there you go, and that one, and that's it. I am going to yeah, demon frog. I am gonna go ahead and post these when I get a chance to on the kind Patreon. I'll post them all on Patreon, so whoever everybody can, if you guys can enjoy Patreon, is free, guys. Just go ahead and join them. You know what I mean? I'm gonna try to use it a little bit more to announce my lives and all of that kind of stuff. It's a good way to support me if you want, and if you don't want, I'm still gonna use it because it's a good way to support me, and it forces me to use a platform that I actually get to do something bonus for people who support me. You know what I mean? Aussie, how's it? Yes. I guess we'll end the little night over here with saying that just a little bit of a talk about fear. Yeah. Um,
I was you saying something about, wait a minute, the old man didn't have a knife earlier? What old man? Was there an old man in the picture?
well, yeah, the
Oh yeah,
old
you
man
did
over
have
here.
an old man, yeah? Try look at that.
Did he not have a knife earlier?
I don't know, is that what you're saying, Melody? Is that the picture?
Yeah. Huh. I'll have to go back and look at it on the live. That'll be interesting.
Oh, yeah, that would be freaking super creepy.
Um, how I've noticed fear, and I've read about fear. I've read about it. I've studied it. It's something that I'm intrigued on. I've watched people. I've watched their fear. I've felt their fear. Entire groups, singular people. It's fascinating. I felt it myself. I felt the effects that it had, and I was able to get out and watch the effects that it had on me as it was going, live kind of thing. Um, the best thing I can say is, my faith is strong, but I'm not one to say that your faith is not. Everybody has their own faith. Everybody has their own beliefs. I think that if you feel protected, you're good. If you feel safe, then you are safe. There was a Buddhist monk. I want to say he might not have been. He may not. I mean, he may not have been Buddhist, but he was a monk for a long time. He was an old monk, and he was a monk that performed exorcisms. I read an article about him, and he has his way of doing exorcisms, and he's always been using it. And he had it. It was an interview, and the interviewer asked him, he's like, "Are you ever afraid that this way, because you're the only one that does it this way, are you ever afraid that one day it's not going to work?" And he said, the thought occurred to me, but my entire time I've been doing this, it has never not worked. Oh man, we put on the mask again. Yeah, after the live, we're gonna do that. I go stand on the road, watch cars drive by, the plague doctor mask. No. Anyway, that's what he said. He said, he's like, I don't know if it's gonna work. I don't know if it's gonna stop working, but I'll tell you this much: it hasn't ever stopped working yet, and it keeps working. So as long as it's gonna keep working, I'm gonna keep using it. It's not being afraid, right? Whether you grab two pieces of sticks and hold them together in the form of a cross, and that brings you bravery and courage, whether it's believing that there's an omnipotent presence that watches over you, what gives you courage, maybe it's something else that gives you courage. As long as you feel that courage and you don't get afraid, I believe you're fine. It's just you got to find that courage in you. That for me, that courage comes from my faith, right? And so, yeah. Jana, Mahalo Joe for keeping tradition so faithfully. We know what it takes. You deliver with kindness and courage, teach to face our fears, be pono with others. Happy Halloween. Jana, we miss you, Jana. Thank you very much. So good to see you. We will be coming up there shortly, Jana. So, yeah, Seattle. Yeah, so I'll be seeing you soon, I hope. Going out having lunch or whatever. Maybe we can go on a ghost tour while we're up in Seattle. I gained my strength from being tired of fighting things in my dream. Once I stopped fighting them, I learned to gain power over fear. Yep. But even the best times, fear will still come up. It's you gotta learn how to swallow the fear down again, or walk away and come back. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'd like to say nothing scares me too, but that's not a challenge. you know. So far, yeah. There are things that scare me. I have like becoming crazy, becoming schizophrenic, and that's why I like to have Matt out here. So I know that the things I'm hearing that's happening, it's happening to him too. you know what I mean? He feels that same wind. He hears that same voice. I'm not hearing voices again. Um, yeah, but yeah. You guys have any questions? If not, I'm gonna thank you guys again for coming on and watching this live. I feel like I did a junk job on this story this year. There were other nights where I did a great story on this, a great job on this story, but tonight been a little bit distracting. I'm not tired, which is good because I was just about dead last year and the year before. Now, last year wasn't too bad, huh? Or,
It's all right, but definitely,
yes, yeah. Please like, share, subscribe.
yeah,
Huh?
definitely a nightly thing. You know what I mean? It does take your toll, so.
I feel like I'm less tired this year,
Mm.
and it's maybe the energy drink speaking, but
I know, we've been pumping them up, fuck, like,
yeah.
and shitload. I gotta go recycle. Oh man, all
Oh
energy
yeah.
drinks, bro.
Oh,
Loading up
energy
this month.
drinks. Oh, bro. I gotta go milk the cans again. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. As always, I hope to continue this tradition and find other reasons to do this stuff. I love going out. I look forward to it every day. All this month I look forward to it. I never like, oh no, I'm going out again. It's gonna be so tiring. And no, I look forward to it. It's like you force yourself to do what you love. You know what I mean? And I like going out and I like telling stories. And yeah, maybe one of these days I'll drag my daughter with me as well. You know. But yeah, guys, thank you very much. I'll give it another minute or two. I'll put you guys on the light so I can actually take a smoke break and not be on the camera because I think they don't like that. The lights are still acting funny kind. Maybe the batteries need to be changed.
Might be.
I mean, we've used
Yeah,
them a
because
lot.
that had all the red, yeah. That was the indicator, yeah. That was
Yeah.
kind of going down. But yeah, we've been using them too, yeah, every night. But they've been lasting.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Jada, you scare us. Last year was pretty laid back, talking story with friends. I fell asleep,
I fell
woke up
asleep over
puzzled.
puzzle. Yeah, you
Brah.
did, Jana. Don't scare me like that again.
We
Oh.
couldn't wake you up, Jada. You sitting over there, barely breathing, not snoring, and I'm like, Jada, don't go. Thank you to the moderators as well. Thank you to Matt for coming out every night over here. Thank you to Uwe as well for joining us. Thank you guys for watching. Everybody here is doing a fantastic job. It's a great community. So I don't read the chat all the time because I know you guys are talking story, and that's great. That makes me happy that people can connect. You know, that's what it's all about. Yeah. 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 Exactly.
Well, this community has grown.
We're
Uh,
looking at lights. Yeah.
just a quick congratulations, Joe. I've seen you break the 800 mark on
800
subscribers.
mark.
So,
Wow.
yes, that just happened over
Dang.
October. So, thank you
I
guys.
didn't see that.
From me and you guys, Mahalo, Joe.
Yep.
Thank you guys for supporting him and coming out and listening to the stories. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Makes it worthwhile.
Thanks, Matt.
Yeah, I know. I noticed that last night. I was like, hey, I knew we was almost there, so I went back to check. I was like, hey, I think it was at 807 or something like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Trust me, guys. It's a big jump from last year to now. So I know Joe appreciates all you guys' support.
For sure. Yeah. The more people I can reach with the stories, the more people I can teach. Yeah. Get out there and stuff. But yeah. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna go wrap up now. Actually, I gotta stand up, walk around, stretch. But yeah, the lights are cool. Maybe I'll get new, different equipment sometime soon. That's kind of what I like to do. I like to get monetized so we can go travel. You know what I mean? I'll go buy one ticket for Matt too. We go Big Island. We go Maui. We go Yao Valley. Oh, it'd be good fun, bro. Just hang out. But yeah. Anyway, guys, we're gonna call it a night now. Yeah. Have a nice quiet night tomorrow without hearing my voice for 2 hours. And yeah, shoot me a message. I'm always down for talking story, guys. And happy Halloween. Yeah. Take care and aloha.
Will.
I got a message for you.